This is Diane Shabazz of the Chess Drum, and this is our third drum beat segment. It is April 7th, 2012. We will highlight the upcoming World Championship, which is going to be starting in May the 10th to be exact. And we'll look at the main site and some other information pertaining to the World Championship match. So right now, we'll just take a look at some of the latest stories of the Chess Drum. Just bear with me. Here we see the Botswana National Championships, which actually started yesterday. So they will go on the next few days, and they will also select their Olympiad team from the top finishers. Here you have the Carifta Games, which also started yesterday, and that tournament is in Trinidad and Tobago. And that was actually a tournament, I believe, that was inspired by a tournament that was supported by the FIDE president a couple of years back. So it's good to see that that tournament is still going on. Here you have the World Championship, only weeks away. And what I have included is a link to the actual site, and I can bring it up here just so you can take a look at it. This is the World Championship site. So it has all the details on the left hand side here. So you can go and check the match schedule and all of the different press releases that have been posted on the official site. You have a very interesting story about prison chess in South Africa. Prison chess is always intriguing because it's one of those activities. It tends to resonate with prisoners. It is a relaxing activity. It helps them to use their mind and channel their energy in more positive directions as well. So, very interesting article about chess in South Africa. Ian Wilkinson, who is the president of the Jamaican Chess Federation, made a comment after seeing this article and stated that in Jamaica they're doing something similar to help reduce the recidivism rate in Jamaican prisons. Here's the interview that we ran back on March 27th about Maurice Ashley, a very interesting interview. It was a lengthy interview, but we hadn't talked to Maurice in quite some time, so he discussed his experience at the Reykjavik Open. He talked about his experiences, in terms of getting back at the board. I asked him about Ho Yifan, his impressions on her. I asked him about the World Championships, and I also asked him about this problem that we have with chess in terms of its marketability, and he gave some very poignant insight on that topic. Here's a bit from that interview.
The underlying problem is chess. I mean, chess in the 21st century has to compete with other activities that are simply visually more engaging. They're faster, it's basketball, more the athletics. So that problem of letting people recognize, having people truly understand how amazing a game chess is, how fun, how dramatic, how tense, that problem is the problem that chess has never quite cracked. How to show that this is actually made for TV, that this is high drama. We've never cracked that problem. We just simply continue to conduct the events with deep analysis, things that we care about. That was an interesting variation. Let's analyze it again. Let's look at another move and another. There's no way the general audience cares about that. In other words, chess players can't get out of their own way.
So you can listen to the rest of the interview by going down and just clicking on this button, and you can listen to it right in the page here without having to go into your media player. Jamaica National Championships will start next week. They will be selecting their Olympiad team as a result. You have all of the top players coming out. I guess they all want to get spots on the Olympiad team. You also have 10-time Jamaican women's champion Deborah Richards Porter, who will also be playing in the open section. Garry Kasparov was recently in South Africa promoting his foundation, providing, a boost to the PR in chess in South Africa. He also gave some interviews And of course, he gave the traditional Simo, where in 26 games he gave up a draw to one of the young players, Daniel Barish. There's a video for the Hip Hop Chess Federation. Adisa Banjoko, I had talked about him in the previous Drumbeat segment, having his 5th anniversary. So T-Cash, who is a Bay Area rapper, did a nice music video in commemoration of the Hip Hop Chess Federation's 5th anniversary. Will Ho Yifan become the greatest? And it's a topic that's been buzzing around the chess world. So I wrote an article just to see what the response would be. You had a mixed response. Some saying yes, she will eclipse Judith Polgar. Some say she won't. And then there are others that say, well, that's not really her motivation. Her motivation is simply to be the best player she can and to become an elite player. And all other things will take care of themselves. The latest new in chess, you can get kind of a synopsis of some of the articles. Levon Aronian was featured in his victory in the Tata Steel Tournament in the Netherlands. You had an article on Ho Yifan and her Gibraltar result, and a very interesting article on Lisa Lane, who was a Fischer contemporary back in the 60s. Very interesting article that was written by Dr. Stephen Dowd on Theophilus Thompson's problem that had actually been replicated on a number of occasions, and those who replicated his problem actually received awards for composing this problem, when in actuality Theophilus Thompson had created this problem back in 1873. So that was a very interesting article. There's Theophilus Thompson. So maybe there should be some recognition given to Mr. Thompson and his composition. Bobby's Blitz Chess, an article that was written by Larry Parr many years ago. Actually, I saw this on World Chess Network, which is a defunct site, but it was a very interesting article that I enjoyed. And there was a discussion on Bobby Fischer recently on a Facebook group, so I decided to go onto my site and look up this article. And when I clicked on the link that I supplied in the article, it was broken, so I had to go into Internet Archives to find this article, share it with the rest of the chess world. It was a very fascinating article on the phenomenal blitz prowess of Bobby Fischer, illustrated by his 1970 result in Yugoslavia, where he faced a number of world champions and just obliterated the field, scoring 19 points out of, it appears to be 22, 11 rounds in a double round robin. And here's some classic pictures of Bobby Fischer, including this cover shot, Chess Review, December 1956. And you have some other stories further down. So when you have time, you can go and take a look at the other stories. But what we'll do now is we'll check some of the news in the other sites, including ChessBase has a number of very interesting stories, including the commemoration of Lajos Portich 75th birthday. It's a new DVD on Vladimir Kramnik, who gives a synopsis on his career. Here's a story on the Chess Olympiad in Istanbul. The official site is up, and we'll take a look at that site. Here's the official site for the Chess Olympiad, so you can go here and you can take a look around. It's very well organized, very neat. You have all of the information here on the left-hand side. You have a couple of promotional videos on Turkey, a place that I've always wanted to visit, and I hope to make the Olympiad, if not for the entire event, at least for a few days. They also have visa information, so if you want to go to the consular page and check the visa requirements, you can begin doing that now to avoid a bottleneck leading up to August 27th, which is the opening ceremonies of the Olympiad. Here's a bit of bad news on Chess Vibes. Linares canceled for a second consecutive year. As you may know, this was one of the marquee tournaments in the chess world, and apparently there is a cancellation of the tournament not because of financial means, but because of the dates were not amenable to a successful organization of the tournament. So Peter Doggers posted this report, so you might want to take a look at it. Moving on, Vladimir Kramnik gave a very interesting interview that you may have seen on ChessBase. ChessBase actually cut the article into segments, but if you go to ychess.org, you can see the interview in its entirety. It's a very interesting interview on Vladimir Kramnik, looking at some of his insights in chess, looking at today's players, looking at players of the future, looking at his own career, and speaking specifically about his match with Topalov, the toilet gate match, where he makes some very interesting comments about that and his relationship with Topalov and Danilov, who is Topalov's manager. Very interesting reading, fascinating. If we go to Twig, we'll see that there's an announcement of the London Chess Classic, which has been confirmed for December 1st through the 10th. So that's a very strong tournament featuring some of the world's top players and usually the top 4 English players. They moved the candidates match back to March 2013. FIDE announced some of the dates for the World Chess Championship. So you look at the dates here, you'll see the tournament or the match being held starting May 10th. You'll see the Olympiad here, August 27th. Grand Prix tournaments, then another candidates match, the candidates tournament, which has been moved back to March 13th, and then the complete cycle, going all the way up to 2016. So very interesting developments here. So this segment, we're going to skip Facebook and we're going to go right to Twitter. So once I go through this very quickly, we're going to go back up and see what the new tweets are. But let's go through some of the tweets here. Ding Liren won the Chinese national championship. This is his 3rd title in the last 4 years. And as you may know, Ding Liren is a rising star in Chinese chess. His ELO rating is about 2660. And so he's poised to reach the 2700 level. China will have a very potent team come August for the Olympiad. Ho Yifan actually played in this tournament as well, and she scored 5 out of 11 around the middle of the pack. Let's see what else we have here. There's some coverage here from Europe Bishek about the Chinese National Championship. Chess Results was following it very closely, as was Live Chess Ratings. China is becoming a very important center for chess development. Here's Hikaru Nakamura posting on his participation in the Grand Pacific Open, where he is participating in British Columbia. Reportedly his favorite part of the world. So we have some very interesting stories here. Let's see what these 102 new tweets are about. Here's Michael Eichner, who is tweeting about the tournament out in Reno, and apparently a lot of upsets. We continue down. We see that the Carifta tournament that I mentioned earlier, round 2, has started. We have the Russian Team Chess Championship. Let's see what that's about. Okay, Chess.com is covering the Russian Team Championship. So you have a full list of players. It looks like a league because you have players from a variety of federations. Okay, and that's going to do it for Twitter. So now let's go back to the main page of the chess drum, and let's end this segment by going to Game of the Week. This game, first game, I actually featured two games. There's the first game is between Nikolai Kabanov and Fabiano Caruana. So we can start that game and just take a look. This was a Rosarimo. Rosarimo is one of the more popular anti-Sicilian methods, and I might add very effective. I actually play it myself. But in this game, Black was able to wrest the initiative away, as you can see, expanding on the queen side, playing very dynamic chess here. White is trying to untangle position. Here's a pawn sacrifice, and Black is now going for the initiative. Threatening rook to d1. Now, Black sacks a piece. Or is it a piece? Is it really a sacrifice? Turns out that is not really a sacrifice at all. Very fascinating game by the Italian American. So that'll do it for the third edition of the Chess Drum. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any comments that you'd like to make to any of the blog topics, or if you have questions that you'd like to ask, if you have suggested sites, if you have suggested Facebook groups, if you want us to follow a particular Twitter feed, then please send me a message at webmaster@thechessdrum.net, and we look forward to answering those questions and your participation. This is Daim Shabazz of the Chess Drum, and as always, keep the beat going. Thank you.